All right, it looks like these playoffs are off to a great start this year. It's only the second day of the playoffs, and already they have scored some pretty great goals, and some pretty good goalies have stopped some pretty nice saves here. So last night, Boston lit up the Maple Leafs, scoring 5 goals and hitting the iron at least that many times. Today, the Rangers had a slow first period with the Washington Capitals. Then in the second period, the Rangers ran away with the game, going up 3 goals early, not looking back to win 4-1. Jimmy Versailles and Panarin led the Rangers to their first win of the year's playoffs, and then the Panthers versus the Lightning. It was a very close game until pretty much a give and take game, with the Panthers taking a lead early in the third period and then scoring an empty netter with roughly 2 minutes to go. And then Stamkos scores on the power play with 10 seconds left, but had no more time in the game to tie it up. It's kind of like another game late in this day here. So Florida goes on to win that game. On to Colorado versus the Winnipeg Jets. I said it in my last video, I was not going to miss this one in the series. I knew it was going to be a good one, I promised you that. And the game did not disappoint. Just after the few first period buzzer went, the game was already 3 goals each for each side. Then the game slowed down a bit as the two teams fought back and forth. The only goal was by Winnipeg in the second period then, and then the third period goes around and started out great if you're a Winnipeg fan. At 16:29, the Jets scored by a quarter of an inch. It was a post-to-post shot that somehow crossed the line as it was flipping in the air. It was kind of a magical shot. It kind of took an instant replay to catch it, but it was an actual goal. So that put them up 5-3, and then the Avs came back and got a penalty soon after that, and the Jets took advantage of that. They are deadly on the power play this year, and they took action and were deadly again. Another goal by Kyle Connor, and then the Avs scored, and then Kyle Connor scored again, and then the Avs made a run to tie it with Makar scoring at 12:24. Then they almost came back, but too late with them getting one more late in the third, but it ended at 7-6 for the Jets. Wow, a 13-goal game for game one. I bet the game 2 is going to have less than 5 goals total, but I think that most teams have kind of filled each other out by now, and the next games are going to be a little more kind of dumbed down a little bit and slowed down, but there might be a few games here that are going to break 5 to 7 goals, but usually it's the first game when the teams are all feeling each other out. You're going to see a lot more of that. And then the last game of the day, was Vancouver versus the Predators. Pretty uneventful game. Few goals were scored, but by the third period is where Florida took only 1 minute to score and then held the lead until 17:55, where they scored on the empty net. Tampa Bay had a power play goal at 19:50, but it was too late. That was the end of the game. Pretty much just like a couple other games here soon. They are going to be pretty tight games, I think, coming up. The first game of the year in the playoffs is usually where they feel each other out. After that, it's usually a closer game. Third might be a little more of a blowout, but we'll see here. I think that Toronto's going to lose, and I think they might even get swept this year. And Boston's such a tough team to beat. I think that it's going to be pretty good. The Oilers hopefully are going to win their first and second round here. After that, it might get a little more interesting depending on when they have to play the other harder teams. And it's pretty late here. It's after 11 o'clock. I'm going to get to bed here. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll have a great night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.